Welcome to episode 4 of Real Conversations with LabWorks USA. Today, we're talking about the first line of defense in fleet safety, your supervisors. Most companies know they need to test, but many don't realize that DOT regulations require supervisors to be trained on reasonable suspicion. Let's talk about the risks of untrained eyes on the warehouse or fleet facility. Hello there, John here, and thanks for calling. You've called and filled out our pre-call, inquiring about what to do if a driver is under the influence and what the immediate protocol is. Just to confirm, is this Jeremy? Are you a supervisor from Heavy Line Carriers?
Thank you so much for answering my call. Yes, this is Jeremy from Heavy Line Carriers, and I am interested in how to handle the said situation as a supervisor.
All right, just curious. What do you usually do when you notice the driver is under the influence? Do you have a protocol in place?
Usually, they come to me or the safety manager. But honestly, they're often hesitant to make the call because they aren't 100% sure what they're looking for.
And what happens if they ignore those signs because they're afraid of being wrong, and that driver pulls out onto the highway?
That's my biggest fear. If an accident happens and it's discovered the driver was impaired and we didn't act, our company is legally finished.
Does your current staff have the required DOT certification to legally order a reasonable suspicion test?
Some do, some don't. We've had a lot of turnover lately, and honestly, keeping track of who has been through the course is another thing on my to-do list that never gets done.
If you had to defend a reasonable suspicion test in court, do you have the training certificates on file to prove your supervisor was qualified to make that call?
Probably not for everyone, and that's a huge gap in our defense if we ever get sued.
Do you know that LabWorks USA has these types of services? These are what we do. We provide supervisor training certificate courses for both members and non-members, ensuring your team is legally compliant and confident. We've been doing this for over 20 years, so we really got good at it. Is that something that you guys would use?
Definitely. Having a certified team would take the guesswork and the fear out of the process for my supervisors.
How much safer would you feel knowing every one of your leads has a certificate on file proving they know exactly how to protect your fleet?
It would be a total game changer for our safety culture.
Let's get your team enrolled today. As we just discussed, an untrained supervisor is a liability you can't afford. Is your team guessing when it comes to reasonable suspicion? Don't wait for a tragedy to find out your supervisors aren't certified. Our contact details are on the screen. Reach out to LabWorks USA and let's get your team trained, certified, and confident. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for our next episode of Real Conversations with LabWorks USA.